Hi everyone. So first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity wherein you have invited me for a talk to specially build confidence among teenagers. So the first thing which I would like to begin with is if you are somebody who is just feeling that you know what is going to be happening in the next 20 to 25 minutes. So here are the three things which I would be emphasizing more on. First, why most of us don't feel confident. It's said that confidence is a skill which is built over time with practice. It is not something which can come to you just in an overnight practice. So first thing which I would be discussing here is the reasons of why everybody feels that I am so low confident or I am having a low self esteem. The next thing that we would be doing is how to build your confidence as a teenager. And the last thing that we would be like emphasizing is if you have any questions from me, then you can ask me. Before I move on, the first thing which I always do is that you need to pat yourself on the back, because remember, if you are somebody here in this room, then you are here for your own transformation, for your own self growth. And if you are here, then I just want you to pat yourself on the back, because it takes courage to show up, and it takes courage to be serious and committed towards changing your own life. So now coming to few guidelines which will help you to understand how can you get the best out of this session. So first is fully participate, because if you are going to fully participate, then only you will be, like in a zone to actually understand what I am taking you through. The next thing is make a lot of notes. Remember, you won't even realize that when one idea can change your entire life if you just act upon it. The next thing is this is not going to be any boring session. It's going to be very interactive, and it's going to I would make my best time and energy to make it fun for you, so that when you understand these things in a fun and loving environment, then only transformation can happen in your life. Next thing is stay till the end, because remember there are few things which I would be discussing which are going to be so, like, you may have known them, but it's just that knowing plus not implementing equals to not knowing. And the last thing is, if you have any questions, you can ask me at the end. Before I move on with the main topic for today, I just want you to ask this very first question, that is it okay if I take 2 minutes of your time to share about my story, about my background, so you know that why we have met here, and you can actually understand who is this 17-year-old girl speaking to you. So my story started during COVID pandemic. I lost somebody I loved, not because of death, but because of some clashes in our own family. And one can understand if you have ever lost somebody who was really close to your heart, and one day you just wake up with a sudden realization that I'm not going to be with that person anymore. That bond just faded away. So that was my whole story. I was not able to accept that part of my life when somebody was so close, and our family relations got so, like, it totally destroyed, and I was not able to accept it. And soon I never realized that when my sadness started turning into depression. And one day when I finally got sick and tired of my life, it was just like I became like a walking talking zombie who was, at 13 years old. When I was 13, I was going through these mental health issues, and I knew I had a lot of people to share this story with. To I know that I knew that there are many people who could help me, but there was this one thing inside me that I didn't trust anybody at that point of time. And that's when, one day when I hit that tipping point in my life, when I felt I can't take it anymore. I wanted to end up myself. I locked myself in a bathroom, and I just wanted to end up my life. But that's when I heard a voice from within me, and that voice was shouting and screaming from within that, Gargi, you can't end your life just because few things didn't go the way you expected, or few people left you. And that's when my story of personal development started. So I made one decision in my life which changed everything for me, and that was, you know what, I am going to take 100% responsibility, no matter whether good happens in my life, no matter whether bad happens. And as you can see, when I started moving on to the journey of transformation and personal development, this is my face, my, like the whole body gesture. I started to actually feel that happiness and how it feels to be really happy from within. So this was me in 2020, when I was totally lost, totally destroyed, totally shattered from within. And in 2021 I started my journey of personal development. And just to make a long story short, hi, my name is Gargi Arya. I am one of the India's youngest certified life coaches and trainers. And basically, I'm a TEDx speaker, international speaker, author of the book The Lion Hearted Soul. And I am on a mission to help people like you build a life that they can be proud of. Because remember, if I can face all of this at the age of 13 and still can come back and rise from the ashes and actually find that message in the mess, then you can do it. Then you can do it too, and that's what my mission is. So today, seeing all of this, the one thing which might stuck in you is that, maybe I'm here to impress you, but that's not my intention for the day. My intention here is that I'm not here to impress you, but to impress upon you that if I can do this, why can't you? So if I can do all of these things, then you can achieve anything in your life. All you need is trust in the process, patience, and the willingness to pursue no matter what. So are we all ready to begin now? So, coming to the first thing, why is it that most students or most teenagers, they do not feel confident in themselves? And it's not only about teenagers, but also, by the time people come to the age of 50, 60, or 40, or even 30, they are still not confident. So, why is that? The first point is because of criticism. Have you ever realized that when you were born, you were a clean slate? You were not having any of the limiting beliefs. You never had any of the criticism on you were never rejected. Rather, it was all through your own experiences, through what you believed in, through what you started to believe in. Let's say if somebody criticized you, and rather than thinking about it, you took it personally, and you felt, and you started seeing yourself through the eyes of somebody else. So that is the first reason that why most of us never feel confident to, start building a life that we can be proud of, because there is too much of criticism that we do on our own selves. The next thing is because of our own limiting beliefs. Criticism not only comes from other people outside of us, but it also comes from within us. Let's say if something didn't go the way you expected, and you maybe failed in an exam, or you maybe failed in something you wanted to do. You put in your hard efforts and your hard work, but it still didn't work out the way you wanted it to be. And you started feeling that it's always going to be the same thing. I cannot do anything in my life, I'm not good enough. So it's not only about the criticism that we get from other people, but also the criticism that we do on our own selves. Can I ask you a very simple question right now here? Whenever you see yourself in the mirror, what do you actually judge yourself on? Have you ever told yourself that you are looking so good today? Or have you ever told yourself or appreciated yourself in the mirror? No, right? We can appreciate other people, we can tell other people how much we love them, but what about you? The problem with most of us is we are trying to, find credit, approval, validation, achievement, that somebody should come to me, pat me on my back and tell me that I am going the right way. But can I tell you the one thing which I myself follow and I tell my community to follow is that if you are by your own side, if you feel that this is something you can do, then you never need any validation. So these are few of the things that why most of us are not able to feel confident in us. Fear of failure, there are too many fears that we have inside of us. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, what will other people think. Fear of success, fear of success is when, if suppose I get to the stage where I want to become in my life, what I want to become in my life, but you know what? Maybe what say if I'm not able to stay humble, if I'm not able to stay kind, what if all the ego comes in me? So, all of these fears, and the one thing which we need to start improving in our lives, that is one of the biggest killers of our confidence is, whenever you have an headache, or whenever you have a physical pain, or you have a mental issue, or you have a, any issue in your health, you will take a lot of time to describe your negative part of life. Let's say you are having headache today, and I'm just asking you, how are you? Let's say I'm a friend of yours, and you are going through some health issues, and I will ask you, how are you doing? You are going to take at least 5 to 10 minutes to describe me about how, how is your health condition, why is it not improving, today you are feeling so bad, today you are feeling this much amount of pain. But have you ever wondered that if you can take the same thing, the same time, to just describe about a beautiful day that you are having? We often take our positive things or the good days of our lives as granted, and that's why our focus is always on the negative part of our life. So the one thing that you can start changing is that, whenever you feel that you are taking too much of time to describe a negative situation, just say that negative situation in maybe few words. That if I am having an headache, I'll just say that, I am feeling very like I am just having a headache today, so can you please allow me to take rest and not disturb me? Whenever I feel okay, I'll just come back to you. And let's say if I'm having a very good day, I'm very happy, then I can describe that day in maybe few sentences, that what, my day is filled with so much of blessings. From the moment I woke up today, I'm feeling so happy, so excited, and I was dancing all around the home. I am so happy that I'm blessed with people like you in my life. So the more time you take to appreciate the blessings of your life, the better, the more and more blessings will be, given to you. Now, coming to telling you about that confidence is a skill. It is not something which you can just get in overnight. So, confidence is a skill, and today, in the next few minutes, I'll be sharing you about what all you can do to build this skill inside of you. And it could be practiced by anybody, not only teenagers. The first thing is practice gratitude. I told you about this thing that the more blessings you are going to count, the more you will be blessed by. So, practicing gratitude is the first step that you need to do every single day when you wake up in the morning, rather than checking up your phone, rather than being on social media, rather than just seeing what other people are doing. Why not take just 10 minutes or 15 minutes of your time to just practice, to just write down about all the things that you are grateful for? This was the first thing which I started doing in my depression time, and that's one of the best practices which changed my life forever. I started with 10 pointers, like I'm grateful for this day, I'm grateful that I woke up today, I'm grateful to have a home, I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak here, I'm grateful for everything, for my school, for my exams, for my teachers. Could be so many things that you can find out, but just the one thing is that you need to be consistent on it, because our brain is wired in such a way that we feel that our focus is always going to be on the negative side of our life and not the positive one. So practicing gratitude is the one key which can help you to start shifting your brain, to start shifting your own patterns. And thus, when you break your own old patterns, what will start happening is you will start reinventing a new you. You will start feeling a new energy. You will start seeing life through a new perspective. The next thing is mirror exercise. I was talking about a point here that whenever we see ourselves in front of the mirror, we actually feel criticized. We actually criticize ourselves that today I'm not looking this way. Maybe my hair is not looking good. Maybe I should look. Maybe I should change my dress. Maybe all of those excuses that we talk about and we give to ourselves whenever we stand in front of the mirror. But what if you can start changing it today? And this exercise, from today, this exercise has a condition. And the condition is that nobody should be there in your room when you are doing this exercise. Otherwise, they will think that you have lost it. So, the first thing that you need to do is go in front of the mirror, and you know what? Just see yourself. Just the way you see anybody whom you love the most, see yourself and then say hi. So if I have to do it, hi Gargi, I'll just stand in front of the mirror. I'll say hi Gargi. I'm so proud of you for the way you manage all the things in your life. I'm so proud of you for maybe maybe I had a presentation today. I just saw you doing it, performing so well in that presentation. I'm so proud of you the way you are able to manage all of those stuff with along with your studies, the way you are impacting lives, the way you are building up yourself. And then at the last, I'm going to give myself a huge and warm hug as if I'm hugging somebody I love the most. And initially, in the initial few days when you are going to practice this exercise, it will feel, what am I doing? You might feel awkward, you might feel weird, some of you might even feel a little bit emotional because you know what, we are not actually used to saying these things to ourselves. Would you agree? So that's why from today itself start doing this mirror exercise, because that's when you will start accepting yourself the way you are. And when you accept yourself the way you are, you will start appreciating all the flaws, all your imperfections. And even if you don't like some part of your body, you will start appreciating the way you have been created and not just trying to fit in. So that's next thing. Next pointer which I would love for you to note is stop comparing yourself to others. I know that if you are a teenager or if you are anybody in this room, I know that we all compare ourselves to somebody else. That maybe this person has so much of freedom, this person is so good at studies, this person is doing so well in his life, but why am I not doing when I'm putting in so much efforts? But remember, you can't compare your first step to somebody else's 21st step. Everybody has a different journey, everybody has a different way to go, a different destination. And all you need to do is just focus on your own strengths and focus on developing them. Because when you will start developing and working on your own strengths, you will start finding that magic in you. I used to compare myself a lot. I had a period in my time when I compared myself to my friends, to all the people who were doing well in life, and I was suffering through those mental health issues. But the one thing which I started doing, whenever I'm comparing myself to somebody else, I just ask myself, what do I admire in them that I am maybe not having? So, when we compare ourselves, it's just like maybe we are lacking that thing, but we admire that thing or that quality and we want it to be within us. So, let's say if I'm comparing myself because of my communication skills to somebody else, then maybe I'll just ask that, what's that person doing? Or what is that one quality in that person which I admire? And because I lack that quality, I am comparing myself to her. And how can I start developing that quality in me? So whoever you are comparing yourself to, maybe start taking them as an inspiration and start seeing the magic. So that's the thing, that's the next step. And the last step which I want you to brief here about is the inner work. Remember, your outside world is just a reflection of what's going inside of you. If I feel negative, if I am depressed, if I am feeling sad, if I am feeling, at low self esteem, if I am feeling all of those negative emotions, it's not any problem in the outside world. Yes, we blame a lot of people that because of this person, I am feeling low, because of my friend, I am feeling irritated. But remember, it's all something is there within you which is feeling negative, which is feeling this way, and that's why it's showing up in the outside world. So whenever you feel that why is it happening to you in the outside world, all you need to do is just return to your own inner self and journal out in your diary that why am I feeling this way, what's the root cause of it, why this is happening, how can I change it? What message can I find in this mess? So it's just that remember, the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you are asking to yourself. When I'm asking myself and digging deeper into my situations, my circumstances, I will be able to find my message. And if I'm just asking the wrong questions and kind of criticizing myself, then it would be the same thing against feeling stuck, feeling confused, feeling lost, feeling depressed, comparing myself to others, and ending up with low confidence or zero confidence. So, at last, the only thing which I want you to know is remember, if you have a dream and you can see it in your mind, that's something which you can bring it in your reality also. I never had the dream of becoming a speaker, a coach, or a trainer. It was just that after going through certain circumstances and experiences in my life, I had this belief that, what, the world needs help. This world needs help, and the world needs to hear my story. And that's when I started coming up like, a coach, a trainer to help people who are facing the same problem. So, the only thing which I want you to know is start working on your confidence. If you enjoyed this session, I would love for you to just take one tip for out of the four practices which I've shared with you. Just that one tip, implement it for the next 1 month, and you will see the result yourself. And thank you so much for inviting me here. I hope this was a session where you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Miss Gargi Arya. It's very well explained. I'm very impressed by the talk. And Miss Haripriya, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. Yeah, Gargi, I would like to ask you one question is, for the teenagers, how should they maintain the relationship with their parents
Okay.
to
Thank you
bridge
so
the
much
gap?
Thank you so much for asking this question. So it's a very nice question that you have asked, that how to actually maintain a relationship between teenagers and their parents. So I'll tell you one thing which I follow, and what I have seen my parents following in my life. So first thing is, see, from a perspective of a parent, let your teenager decide their own choices. Let your teenager be free to go through anything that they want to. So let's say if somebody wants to become a doctor, but their family or their parents wants them to go through the profession of maybe an engineer. But so there's a clash of opinions between the teenager and between the parents, because maybe the parent doesn't feel that that his child or her child will be able to have the strength to become a doctor. And what if they fail, what if they face all of those challenges? So from a perspective of a parent, please allow your child or your teenager to actually be free in their own choices, because remember, at last, at least they will not have this question that, you know what, at least they will not blame you that I wanted to become a doctor, but you made me an engineer, right? So they will be taking 100% responsibility on their part that even if they fail, they will be able to make it no matter what. At least they will not blame their parent at last. And from a perspective of a teenager, I think every teenager needs to understand that, you know, every parent is coming from an intention of love. Your parents are coming from an intention of love. If they scold you, if they tell you to do something, sometimes it might annoy you, sometimes it might feel like, you know, why your parents or why your mother or father always keep on poking you for the same thing again and again. But the only thing you need to remember is they want you to be successful. And for, you know, like for you to become successful, maybe they are not seeing that seriousness in you, and that's why they are just telling you and guiding you on the path. So just be open on both the sides. For teenagers, come from an understand that your parents are coming from an intention of love, care and support for you. And for parents, understand and let your child or teenager be free, so that they can face their own challenges, their own consequences, and can learn their own, you know, lessons. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, Gargi. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Miss Haripriya, do you have any more questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So, Gargi, I have a couple of questions for you. The first question is, how do you believe confidence impacts various aspects of our lives, such as career success or personal relationships?
Awesome. Again, a very interesting question. So I'll just like explain this question from both the perspective. Let's say if I am a low confident person, I don't feel confident in myself. I am feeling very depressed. I always feel low to others. Like I feel an inferior quality to in front of others, and I just feel that they're always superior to me. Then you know what will start happening is your choices will be controlled by somebody else. So let's say I'm a low confident person, and you know, I am not even having a belief. I have a dream, but because of having low confidence, I don't believe in my own dream. And that's when people come to me and criticize me for whatever things I am going through in my life, or they tell me that, you know, this is not going to work, you will never be successful, you are not good enough. I will start accepting it. But the difference in a confident person is, you know, he or she is so confident in themselves that if suppose anybody is coming to them with arrows pointing out to them like criticism, rejection, failures, all of these things, the one thing a confident person will always do is he or she will first take that arrow and, you know, analyze that arrow. That, you know, whatever that person told about me, is it really true? Does that person really know me in a full way, or is he just saying out of no care, or just to tell me, or just to disturb me with my own thoughts? So that's the difference in how confidence impacts every area of your life is. If I am confident, my choices will be made by me. I will be responsible for the consequences. If it doesn't work out the way I had expected, I will not blame anybody. I will have a full faith in God and my efforts, that, you know, whatever I am doing, I know this is going to be working out. But a low confidence person is like living in the cage. He is not free. She is not free, and is guided by whatever other people think of him, and his perceptions, his self image is also on the judgments of other people. So that's the answer.
Thank you. So, have you encountered any common misconceptions about building confidence that you addressed in your talk?
Yes. See, the first thing that everybody says is that, you know, confidence is something which is given to you when you are born. So many people believe that, you know, confidence is something which is inbuilt in us. But the one thing which my talk also told all of you was that confidence is a skill. I was not this much confident. I was not a person with so much confidence the way I am right now. It was something which I built over time through practice, 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 and through all the things which I told you right now. So the one misconception that all of us need to clear is that confidence is not something which is inbuilt, or it could be built in an overnight. It takes time, and all you need to have is patience, trust in the process, and the willingness to build the confidence. Because if you are regular in those practices to build confidence, then ultimately you are going to get the result.
Right. So, how do you differentiate between healthy confidence and overconfidence? And why is this very important?
Yes, another very important question. So, see, there's a difference between confident and being overconfident. Let's say I have an exam, and let's say I have an exam, and I am feeling confident about it. I am putting in my efforts, I am putting in my whole work, I am, hard working. I am basically reading all the chapters, going through all the things, and at the end, even if I'm scoring good marks all throughout the 12th, even if I've scored good marks, still I will not feel overconfident that, I don't have to study, because all the while I've already got good marks, so it means that I'm already a topper. So there's a huge difference. Confident person is, even if you got the result, the person is still going to prepare for the examination with the same dedication, with the same efforts, and with the same amount of determination to score maybe 95 or 98% in his boards. But an overconfident person would be, if suppose she has scored all good marks throughout 12th, and she is feeling that I know I'm going to score full marks, and she doesn't even revise, she doesn't even open the book, and she is just into the examination and then feeling like I should have studied. So that's the difference between feeling confident and being overconfident.
Right. So, how can teenagers or people support each other in fostering confidence within their workplace or communities or at school or in a friends group? What would you suggest?
So I think the first thing that we need to understand is our environment. What kind of people do we want to surround ourselves with? Because remember, you are the sum of the five people you surround yourself with. If you are surrounding yourself with the negative people, don't expect a positive result in your life. And if you want to become somebody in your life who you want to see yourself through achieving all your dreams and actually making your family proud, then you need to select those categories of people. So it's like, if there is a basket of clean apples, even one rotten apple can destroy all of them. So be aware of your environment, choose your people very consciously. If you feel that somebody is not good for your mental health, for your emotional health, just stay away from them. Because humans are very smart to catch up vibe. So if you feel that you are getting a negative vibe from that person or from that friend of yours, then start reducing or totally remove them from your life. That's the first step to fostering confidence. Next thing is, of course, all the things which I shared with you. Take one thing at a time and practice it for maybe 1 month or 2 months, until and unless you don't get consistent on it. Once you are consistent, then you move on to the next habit. The next thing which you can do is that you need to understand that, if suppose you can join some community who is, or maybe you can join somebody who is also on the path of building confidence. So maybe forming an accountability between both of you, that you hold me accountable for to practice confidence, or to build this practice of confidence, or to build this skill, and similarly the other person is going to hold you accountable. So these are few things which you can do in order to have an environment which is promoting confidence. And last thing, which I really want to mention here is, it's okay to make mistakes. A lot of times, our friends laugh on us, or people laugh on us when we stumble, when we make mistakes, when things don't go the way we have practiced. But the one thing you need to understand is making mistakes is a part of this journey, and you need to be open to it. I had made a lot of mistakes, and still I make a lot of mistakes. And you know why mistakes are important? Because then only you will fail, and when you will fail, then only you will be able to understand where you got wrong. And once you rectify where you got wrong, then you will never repeat that thing again. So these are few things to build confidence.
Thank you, Miss Gargi. I'm sure the audience, Miss Priya, and the other people, whoever will view on the YouTube channel or on our YouTube channel, will have so much to take away from your talk. And I hope they will follow all the suggestions and steps and practice them in building their confidence. So we will close this session now. And thank you again. It was a wonderful talk.
Thank you so much.